How much money would it take for you to be financially free? Well, the number is different for you than it is for me. Maybe you need 500,000, maybe I need 1 million. And even though the number's different for everybody, the equation to calculate how much each one of us need is the exact same. Now, I want to make a big distinction between financial freedom and wealth. Wealth is you can do whatever you want for the rest of your life. It could be literally nothing, and there are no financial repercussions. You are retired for all intents and purposes. Financial freedom is being able to choose what you want to do for work. It is being able to be fired from your job and not really care. It's being able to travel wherever you want, whenever you want, because you can afford it. It is being able to live a nice, comfortable life and pretty much choose any type of work you want to do because you are financially free, but you're not wealthy enough to do nothing forever. And taking a look at the 5 steps of building wealth. Number 1 is debt-free. Number 2 is working just to survive. Number 3 is working to save and invest. Number 4, where we're focused, is financial freedom. And number 5 is wealth or retirement. So you can see exactly where financial freedom is on the wealth building journey. And if you're on step 4, financial freedom, you're doing pretty good. But how do you get there? And that's exactly what we're going to be covering today. And we are going to cover 3 things. There is the 1 financial checklist, all of the things you have to have marked off to be financially free. There is number 2, the financial freedom calculation, calculating exactly how much money you need to have to be considered financially free. And then number 3, I want to dissect the difference between wealth and retirement versus financial freedom. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you for being here. I'm Jacob. I'm building wealth for me and my family. I'm sitting at $699,000. I'm 28, debt free, and I'm on a warpath to get to $1 million by the time I'm 32. So if you're into $1 million journeys, investing, personal finance, budgeting, things like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up too, because why not? And let's get started. Number 1, the financial freedom checklist. These are all the things you need to have marked off in order to be financially free. First, you have to be debt-free, and this includes no mortgage. This is non-negotiable. If you owe anybody any money ever, you're not free. That means you're obliged to pay somebody at the end of every month or end of every 2 weeks or whatever it is. That is stress, and stress is not freedom. So I don't care if you have a car payment, a mortgage, credit cards, anything. Small business loan, does not matter. If you owe somebody money, you are not free. So to be financially free, you must first, number 1, mark off being debt-free. Number 2, you need to be able to have all the essentials covered. Whether you're renting a nice apartment, a nice home, you have a good, comfortable roof over your head, you need to have shelter covered. You need to be able to afford just clothes anytime you need them, some basic clothes. You don't have to be wearing Gucci, you don't need to be wearing Prada, you don't need to be wearing things like that, but just be able to, I don't know, go to Kohl's and get a shirt like this and a shirt like this, doesn't have holes in it, keeps you warm, keeps you cool, whatever. You gotta be able to have the essentials covered. Food, you can choose whatever type of food you want to eat. This does not include going out to restaurants, but just being able to, if you want to eat healthy, you can go buy some salmon, and if you want to eat bad, you can buy frozen pizza. I don't care, you just need to be able to afford it. Number 3 is you live a comfortable life, you can afford luxuries. These include weekend getaways, going on vacations whenever you want, wherever you want. You can afford to go to Italy, you can afford to go to Colorado, you can get a cabin, you can go to the beach, you can take a cruise. Doesn't matter, you can afford the luxuries in life. You're now comfortable. You can go out with your friends when they ask you, hey, you want to go out for the weekend? You want to go to a weekend getaway? Let's go get a cabin out in Gatlinburg. Whatever, you can afford to go eat with them. You can take your parents out to eat. You can get your kids gifts for Christmas. You can get your spouse, your significant other, whomever, gifts, trips, jewelry. It doesn't matter. You can afford the nicer things in life. Not all the time. You have to be conscious about it, but you can afford a nice, comfortable life now. And then lastly, you have investments. You are finally saying, hey, I got some stocks, I own a home, I own a couple homes, I rent them out, whatever, but you now have cash generating assets that are going up in value over time and bringing real wealth to your life. So this is the financial freedom checklist. You need to have all 4 of these boxes checked off in order to say you're financially free. And of course, we're always going to want more things. We're always going to want a nicer, bigger house, be able to get a bigger boat the next time we go to the Caribbean, or take a fancier vacation, eat at more Michelin star restaurants, whatever it is. But these are just the 4 basic, or they're not exactly basic, but just like the 4 most essential things to have checked off of being financially free. And then over time, that list can keep growing, but just the bare minimum to be financially free. Now, this gets us into our calculation of the financial freedom equation, which is this. Take a look at the top 3 of the financial freedom checklist. You have debt-free, check off, essentials covered, checked off, and luxuries afforded, checked off. Now take these 3 and see how much does it cost you to live this life every single year. So for me, it costs me $60,000 a year to live this life. I'm debt-free, I have all my essentials covered, and I have a pretty luxurious, comfortable life, especially compared to somebody 100 years ago. Now, I also have investments, but that's not part of the equation. So just these 3 altogether for me cost me $60,000 a year. Now I need to multiply that by 10. So I multiply 60 by 10, and that gives me $600,000. That's how much money I need to have to be financially free. Now for you, it might be $80,000, which would then be $800,000 to be financially free, or $100,000, which would then be $1 million to be financially free. But for me, to be financially free, I need to have $600,000. And here's why. I lost my job in April. And whenever I lost my job, I said, I don't exactly want to go back to selling software right now. I've been selling software for the past 5 years. I have a net worth of $699,000. Do I really need to go work a job that I don't want to go work right now? Do I need that money? And the answer is not really. Because look, with $699,000, I have invested in the stock market. If I get a 10% return, that's $69,000. That more than covers my yearly expenses. So why do I need to go work a job to get income to cover a life that I can afford with just my investments? Now, 10% or multiplying this by 10 is just a baseline. And that's because the stock market over the long term averages 10% a year. So whatever it is, $600,000 times 10% is $60,000. That is the minimum of how much you need to be making to be financially free. Maybe you get more on your investments, maybe you get 20%, and that's great. I hope you do. But just a baseline is take all of your yearly expenses, multiply it by 10, because everyone can just invest in a basic S&P 500 index fund, get 10%, and voila, there you are, you're financially free as long as it covers your yearly expenses. Now, this is also where I want to define that this is different from being wealthy or being retired and doing literally nothing for the rest of your life. Now, as I mentioned in April, when I was let go of my job and I have this net worth now of close to $700,000, we can agree that I can go do whatever I want, whenever I want, pretty much wherever I want with $700,000. But I'm not retired for life. I can't just not do anything forever. I'm only 28 years old. $700,000 is a lot of money to go do whatever I want with, but it's not enough to live for the rest of my life doing nothing. And that's the difference between financial freedom and wealth or retirement. So instead of going and working another job that I didn't want to work, I am now starting this. I'm talking to you. I'm doing financial content on YouTube. And this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I'm actively writing a book on personal finance. I'm creating this content. I'm hoping to grow this into a bigger business, and I have time. My $699,000 net worth is now buying me time to start my own business. I am financially free. I don't need to go work a job somewhere I don't want to work. I don't have to accept work that I don't want to do because I don't need the money right now. My investments have me covered. So this is financial freedom. And why is this not enough to retire? Well, to break it down on exact numbers, here's why. Let's say the stock market were to get cut in half. Like in 2008, the stock market was down 56%. My $700,000 net worth right now would be cut in half to $350,000. That $350,000, if I multiply that by 10, is only $35,000. That's only covering half of my yearly expenses. I'm not financially free anymore. Now, $350,000 would still be enough for me to continue on this personal journey of starting my own business, being entrepreneurial, doing whatever I want. It would buy me still time, but it's definitely now not enough money to be retired forever. For me to be retired forever, I'd probably need at least 2 to 3 times of my total expenses, either, $60,000. I would need 2 times that, $1.2 million, or maybe even 3 times that, $1.8 million for me to really go live a very modest retired life forever. So that is the difference between financial freedom and wealth. I'm definitely financially free. Are you financially free? Just calculate it. Look at that checklist. Multiply all of those expenses that you have by 10, and then there you go. You can see if you're financially free. And I want to say that I think financial freedom is probably more important than that wealth building stage, that retirement stage. Of course, we all want to be wealthy. We all want to be able to have the option of literally just laying back, doing nothing. Send me to Cozumel. I'll look at the beach all day with the margarita in my hand, right? But if you can just get to that stage of financial freedom, and once you have 10 times your income, essentially, or 10 times your expenses, you're going to just kind of coast into that wealth building stage. For example, if you need also $60,000 a year to live your life and you have $600,000 in investments, just plug that into a compound interest calculator. And look, if you put that in there for 10%, you had $0 in there for the next 10 years, you're going to have a lot of money in the next 10 years just with your current net worth if you have $600,000 too. So that's why I think you should always be aiming for that financial freedom stage, because that's where you really get that first big breath of, I made it. My life belongs to me. I own me now. I'm going to be rich one day. I'm not wealthy enough to not do anything yet, but I will be. Once you're financially free, like, you're going to make it. You've pretty much already made it. You are 80% of the way there. And your life now belongs to you. You can really go do anything you want, anytime you want, whatever it is, wherever. So always be working to get financially free. If you're not financially free yet, be aiming towards financial freedom, and eventually you're going to be wealthy. Don't think way out into the future, I need to be wealthy, and once I'm wealthy, I'm financially free. You're financially free way before you're wealthy, and it's a great feeling to be financially free. That's ultimately where you want to always be until you're wealthy and retired. So if you like this video, if this helps you understand financial freedom better, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will see you next video. Bye.